everybody, and welcome to What's Up Got to Do With It. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Bunny Sugars, and I'm so excited to see you guys. It's been a little bit of time since I last saw y'all, and I can't wait to get into some readings for y'all this evening. However, before we jump into some awesome readings for this evening, let's go ahead and jump into some house rules so I can explain to everybody what's going on here on My Psychic Connection. So, we offer free and paid readings here on My Psychic Connection. Now, if you have a general question, we would like you to save it for mypsychicconnection.com. General readings can sometimes take you in a place where you may not be ready to go to live on the air, and so we'd like you to save that for the website. Now, the cool thing is, though, if you sign up for the website, you do get 3 free minutes to start, and you can start with whatever reader of your choosing, whether it be me, it could be Journey, it could be Kay, you could choose anybody you want to on the site. And so that's really, really cool. If you want to go ahead and sign up at mypsychicconnection.com. Now, importantly, though, if you have any medical or legal questions, make sure you save those for the medical or legal professionals. Unfortunately, by law, we are not allowed to answer those, and we want to make sure you are led in the proper direction, regardless of what that question may be. So make sure you save those for medical and legal professionals. And fun cheat codes for everybody. If you'd like to jump ahead of the list, you can go ahead and donate to mypsychicconnection.com, and there will be a link down in the chat to go ahead and do that. And then once you donate, you do get to skip ahead the line. Now you can donate for a quick reading, a mini, a medium, and a mega reading. And those, specifically the mini, mediums, and megas, are untimed, and they take as long as it takes for the message to come completely out as well. So with that, you guys, it's super important that if you'd like to support a good cause and help us here at the show, please go ahead and hit that donate button and hit those like, share, and subscribe buttons as well. Now, we also have some fun games for you tonight. We have the lightning round, and we also have the emoji contest. So if you want to go ahead and get a free general reading from me with my wonderful deck of my choosing, you can go ahead and start throwing those emojis in the chat, because the emoji contest is fun. And so remember, 30 minutes in is the lightning round. So if you have yes, no, maybe so questions, go ahead and start thinking about those that you want to put into the chat. And Tina says, hi, Bunny. Hi, Tina. You look gorgeous in your profile picture. You guys, I'm so excited and so ready to read for y'all today. It's been a moment. I hope you all have been taking care of yourself and doing that little spiritual homework that I love to give you guys. Like, tell me what you guys have done to take care of yourself this weekend. This weekend, I literally closed my eyes. Tina said, thank you, beautiful. You are so very welcome, Tina. So this weekend for me, my type of self-care had a lot to do with just taking a break socially. I can be a hypersocial individual, but sometimes I do overindulge socially and it burns me out super quick. So this weekend, I really took a lot of time to just be by myself and watch some trash TV just a little bit. And so I had to bring myself back into woosah, because when you get overloaded, you got to take a little bit extra care of yourself. So tell me what you guys did this weekend. I would love to see, what everyone's activity of the weekend was. Like, what was your let's woosah and have a good time moment? What was your version of self-care? Oh yeah, I also went shopping this weekend, but look, I do be a shopaholic when I want to be. I get overstimulated quickly, but I'll still go to the mall and find a really good pair of boots. All right, you guys, I hope you all are having a wonderful, wonderful afternoon so far. And let's go ahead and jump into some readings while I wait for you guys to tell me. And we have a donation. Thank you so much, Emma. Emma, thank you so much for your beautiful donation. You are amazing. And thank you so much for supporting us here at My Psychic Connection. And Emma wants to know, hi, Bunny. I'd love to know if I'd end up on the show. Say yes to the dress eventually. Thank you lots. You are so very welcome, my friend. And it is my pleasure always. So let's go ahead and look into this potential process for you with Say Yes to the Dress. Now, first and foremostly, if you have not applied, we gotta start there. You have to put forth the effort into the thing that you want. Emma, you are welcome 100%. Oh, thank you so much. But you really got to put forth the effort. If you want it, you got to push for it, because you can ask a psychic all day long if it's going to happen. But if you're not putting your foot down forward into making it happen, there's nothing I can do. So definitely go ahead and start that application process if that's something you haven't. Now, from what I can see here in front of me, I do not see this as being something that you may be able to really get into. Now, it feels like a very strenuous process. Emma, I'm single currently, so how would I apply? You know what, Emma, you make a very solid point there. But I mean, if we're if we're looking at a situation that's happening far out in the future, let's look at it this way, right, Emma? There's a possibility, but the possibility is very slim in this moment because it's something that has not begun to happen for you yet. And because you are single and haven't applied, there's no way that you will be accepted. So your answer is no, but it's no on literally a logical basis in this regard. Now, will it ever happen? It's a very strenuous process, and there's a lot of free will outside of your own that is interfering in a strong competition. So you have to look at what that competition is really looking like. Emma says, sure, understandable, right? Because we're looking so far ahead. Now, in terms of the future, can I see you on the show? No. And it's unfortunately because that competition is stiff. That competition is heavy. And you're up against thousands of applications moving forward, thousands and thousands of applications daily. And it's not because you aren't good enough. It's not because you aren't beautiful enough. Don't think of it. Don't put yourself in that position specifically. It's more so the odds are very stacked in this degree. And you're up against thousands and thousands and thousands of people at one time, unfortunately. And so I don't see this happening for you in the long run. Emma says, it just means there's more and bigger and better coming for me. Yes. Every closed door is a new opportunity to another door that might open. Just because one door is closed doesn't mean you won't get something in something else. So you got to take that negative and turn it into a positive, just like you did there. So that's good on you. Good thought process, Emma. I love that for you. I love seeing that. So definitely try maybe into a different vein. I think I've actually talked to you about this before, about maybe vlogging the experience, making like TikToks about the experience. There are other ways to get on a sort of platform with what you're going through, as opposed to applying for a reality TV show, even though that's one I also like to watch too, so don't worry. So my friend, I hope that was able to answer your question and give you a little bit more clarity. And thank you so much for your beautiful donation. I appreciate you, and we at My Psychic Connection here appreciate you too. So you guys, tell me. Emma says, yes, I love vlogging. Vlogging is fun. I wish I really was into doing it more, but I'm kind of too private of a person. A little too private. Tammy says, my favorite rabbit. Oh, thank you, Tammy. My favorite Tammy. Tina says, my self-care was time to myself and getting grounded to go to the gym. Yes, Tina, I'm with you, because I'm also, as of today, starting a little exercise regimen. I'm trying to get my extra summer body together. Gemma says, eat ice cream in bed and watch reality TV. Heck yes. I'm with Tina, because I'm like, yes, I was also getting my workout in this weekend too, but I'm also here for the ice cream. Tammy says, love you. Oh, I love you too, my friend. Thank you so much. Yes, self-care does not always have to be one thing or another, just whatever feels good in the moment. Emma says, thank you lots. You are so very welcome, Emma. So before we get into our next question, I have a carrot for you guys, a carrot for your thoughts, if you will. So we talk a lot about love here on this show. We talk about love. Love isn't just romantic love. It's familial. It is platonic. It is everything in between, right? Now, what happens when platonic love, platonic friendship starts tipping in a negative direction that affects you. Because we talk about the positive aspects of love all the time, but there's negatives to platonic love that get very complicated. And that complication comes in the form of admiration versus jealousy or envy. How to tell the two apart is something that a lot of people have a hard time with. Think about it like this in a logical sense. Jealousy is a negative judgment based on your own unrealized insecurities, inadequacies, fear of abandonment, fear of being left behind, fear of not being good enough. That's where the negative emotions with jealousy comes in. Jealousy is what you have, what you do, and who you are somehow takes away from who I could be or could have. That is jealousy. Then you have admiration, and that's a positive judgment. You're seeing somebody who's similar to certain traits, work ethics, or skills that you would like to have in yourself, but there's a level of acceptance that you do not have that skill, but it is something you could work to. It's respect without feeling inadequate within yourself. It's take it how I say all the time, I would love to be energy when I grow up. I would love to be energy. The calmness, the rationale, the balance that energy as a person possesses is something I highly admire in her. And also, you can catch energy in her show tonight at 10 p.m. I got to plug in my girl. But when you admire someone, is you're saying internally what you have and are and who and what you possess is wonderful. And I want to work hard to achieve that same thing. And admiration is a positive. You see what's lacking within you and you say, I can work towards that too. You don't internalize it and turn it into a negative. And so that is kind of the base definition between admiration and jealousy / envy, because those two are kind of in the same camp. So think about those for a little bit and then tell me in the chat below, what are some red flags that you've noticed in friendships based on jealousy and admiration, specifically jealousy? What are some red flags that you've noticed within a friendship that it didn't click to you as jealousy until way, way too late when things started falling apart? I am someone who's been through that. So we're going to answer that question after we take another question from our lovely viewers. Look at me segueing. Look at me getting it today. Emma says, I am waiting on my time with I'm waiting my time on Dan T, and he is only after one thing. I don't know if he is being genuine. Oh, Emma. Let's see what's going on with Dan T and if he's being genuine or not. I mean, quite frankly, I feel Dan is a little discombobulated as a person, but I understand that there's a kind of desire to make things kind of happen and work in a favor with you. Is he being genuine? Not to the fullest. It feels almost like he's giving you half of what he could be giving you. It's not necessarily that he has a nefarious motive. It's more so the fact that he doesn't seem to know 100% what it is he wants, what he desires, and how he desires it. But he knows he likes you in this relationship. So, Emma, this is one of those situations that has a lot of nuance to it. And it's not one that you should jump to the first conclusion in your head. The first conclusion is, I hate this person. They are making me feel uncomfortable. There is an attempt to try and understand this person. But if you really feel that they are after one thing, which I do think that if we're talking about the physicality of the relationship or the situationship, there's definitely an attraction there that you are picking up on. But is that the only thing in his head? No, that is not the only thing going on with him. So this is literally a situation of it's not necessarily an ulterior motive. It's more so, I don't know what it is I really want and am looking for. You're picking up on the fact that you can see where there's a very solid attraction there. And that's where that feeling of you only just want one thing is coming from. It's the realization of that attraction being... Oh, my friend, I hope that was able to help give you some clarity. And it is very important, everybody, to make really good discernment when you're talking about the feelings of other people. Because what ends up happening a lot of times will misinterpret feelings versus the opinion and how we judge other people's feelings that we're picking up on. It's like being an empath, but then literally like it's being an empath, but then being overly judgmental in those feelings and opinions that you may not have a sound sort of, how to phrase this correctly. You don't have a sound opinion on, you don't have sound evidence on, but you've already made an opinion off the bat. But forgetting that this person is also someone with feelings. We do that a lot. We prematurely judge people a lot of the time. So it's something to really use discernment on, especially when you're talking about forming relationships with other people. Relationships are very, very, very complicated, very complicated. So you guys, let's jump into another question. Slatvana says, hi, Bunny. Hi, Slatvana. I love your name so much. What are these next actions toward me and when? Thank you. So next actions is such an interesting question. I feel like there's going to be a continuation of the kind of back and forth talking that you two have now. Now, if you're looking at intentions as is he going to make a move on me? Is he going to ask me out? If this is kind of what you're looking for, and if you can clarify that for me, that'd be super awesome. But is he going to want to go on a date, ask you out, things like that? Yeah, I do see that happening. When is very up to chance because we have free will. So in terms of a more generalized timeline, this could happen probably within the next few weeks. This is a little bit of a complicated scenario because, again, we're talking about timelines and feelings, and he has the free will to kind of hold things off if he wants to. But I feel like there's potentially going to be more dating between the two of you, and I feel like the conversation that you two have going on is moving in the more positive direction. So more or less, you're going to see a lot of what you're going through right now with V. This isn't a bad thing. This is just a slow intro into something more, if that's what you're looking for. So it's getting there. Just remember, take your time and allow things to build up. And that's what's really important here, that build up into a more grounded and solidified relationship between you and him. And so that's going to be a talking period and some dating. And that's kind of where he's at with you currently. So my friend, I do hope that I was able to help give you some clarity. And thank you so much for asking questions. You guys are awesome. Thank you all for sending in all of your beautiful questions and all your beautiful emojis. And remember, if you are having a good time here, you can go ahead to my psychicconnection.com, or excuse me, journeyroundlive.com/reviews. And you can leave a review for the show. And Jean says, hi. Hi, Jean. The singular, not the plural. I still remember that from our first show together. The singular Jean, not the jeans with an S, not the plural. That is my favorite thing to say, and that kind of roams around in my brain at random times. But I hope you guys are doing good today. You guys, oh, there's Gemma with all the emojis. You go, Gemma. Slatvana says, thank you for the reading, and you. Oh, thank you, Slatvana. You are so sweet. So you guys, remember a moment we had a carrot for our thoughts about jealousy versus envy. So what happens when you start noticing those patterns in a relationship? What does that look like? And I would love for you all to tell me red flags that you have noticed from friendships and people around you when things were like really cool, and then you started noticing a shift where things started becoming a little bit more jealousy. For me, it was the time where a friend would compare themselves to me. It was very uncomfortable because I didn't understand where it was coming from. And it was coming from a place of jealousy or envy. Envy, distancing, quiet. Yes, there's a distancing that comes with envy. It's like a me versus you that comes with that feeling of jealousy and envy. And that's something that's very scary to notice when you're in what seems like a really good friendship. And then it just starts taking a turn. But some other signs of that envy or jealousy within a relationship, backhanded compliments is a big one. Big backhanded compliments. E says, yes, it's crazy. Honestly, it is. it goes from 0 to 100 and you have no idea how you got here. But a lot of us just see these red flags and we're like, our friend is just going through something. We become empathetic with our friends when they start displaying these backhanded compliments or some criticism or an inability to hear criticism from you. We start noticing that and we're like, they're just going through a hard time. Let's just give them a lot more love. And then that love becomes like turmoil for them. It becomes a push-pull point for them. It does get scary and it is kind of crazy because we love this person and now this person is actively pushing away from us. So some other signs, they're only available when they need something from you. That is how you know when a relationship is becoming transactional. This is relationship or friendship. This is everything. That's when you notice the transactions between the two of you are no longer balanced. If you need something and they're not there. Now, not accepting feedback. I mentioned that before. Like friends, as friends, are supposed to be able to tell each other what they feel and how they feel about certain things. And if it's positive or negative. And a lot of the times when the dynamic of the friendship starts switching around, then it becomes more negative and you become the bad person for telling them that, hey, this may not be a good idea. Let's see. They're only comfortable with certain aspects of you, meaning when you're able to provide something, then they're happy, they're fine. They only talk about themselves. A big one is backhanded disrespect that comes off like a compliment. Calling you, and I've saying this from experience, calling you a princess. It's a compliment, but in the most backhanded sort of way sometimes, unless it's meant with love. But when the situation or the friendship becomes a little bit different and you notice that push and pull, compliments like that don't feel like compliments. So tell me, guys, what are some things that your friends have done or previous friends have done that made you question what is going on here? What was that red flag that was like blaring for you? And while you guys answer that, let's go ahead and answer another question. All right. AA says, have I already met my future boyfriend? Hey, this is a very interesting question. So first and foremostly, have you already met your future boyfriend? I don't think in this regard, no. Now, can you tell me, are you actively seeing somebody? Who is in your head that is making you question if this is going to be your future boyfriend? Or are you just wondering if the person you are in a platonic friendship with is going to be that person for you? Because quite frankly, from where I'm standing, the answer is a little bit of a no. Little bit of a no. I don't think you've met them yet. And I think this is going to be someone you really don't meet until a little bit later on in the future. It's not that you're not going to meet them. It just feels like there's a lot of complication around who you may be thinking of in this regard. But like I said, if you can tell me who you might be thinking of in this situation, that would be super awesome, because then I'll be able to break this down just a little bit more if you're here in the chat with me. But to answer your question, my friend, the answer comes off as a no. It does not feel like you've already met them. AA says, I am single. All right, there we go. So that's what I'm looking for. Thank you so much for that clarification. This is someone you're going to meet in the future. There's a complication here, and first and foremostly, you haven't met them. This is not someone in your friend group. This is not someone who is around you. This is someone who you're going to meet in the future, potentially within the next year or two. Now, I say year or two, big broad timeline. That is just like how, unfortunately, the universe works. AA says, JP is the one. I don't feel JP is it. If JP was the one in your mind as I was drawing those cards, he's not that future boyfriend. I feel like there's going to be a lot of drama with JP. There's going to be a lot of discomfort between the two of you in terms of what they have going on around them. So it may seem like they have a lot of friends that you may not agree with, whether they be female friends or otherwise. This is going to be someone you have a lot of questions about internally. So JP does not seem like 100% that this is going to be someone who is going to be not just your potential boyfriend, but a good match. All right, my friend, thank you so much for your beautiful question, AA. And you guys remember, there is an emoji contest. And so If you want to get a free general reading from me and my hummingbirds, go ahead and drop those emojis in the chat. I can't wait to see who wins because there's a message in here for somebody. And also, Gemma asks, she says, excuse me. Gemma says, when my male friends drop me, when they get a new girlfriend, don't talk to me, but then come to me for support when they split. Ooh, that is something I see now, even in my good 32s. That is the weirdest thing to me. E says, told my business. I knew it was her. She was the only person I told. Ooh, people who tell your business like that, that's the ops. Those are not your friends. Those are your enemies right there, because that lets you know immediately how dirty and how low they will go to make themselves feel better over you. Friends like, ooh, you don't need enemies for friends like that. That is your ops. E says, definite, indeed. Yes, I've actually had friends like that before. And unfortunately, experiences with people like that will turn you into a more closed off individual. E says, dropped her like a bad addiction. As you should, E. As you should. Definitely. Because, again, with friends like that, you don't need enemies. You just need a bubble. And to go in that bubble and never come out. People who take their envy, their jealousy out on other people, it gets very tricky and very dangerous, because you never know what information they're sharing. You never know to who, about what. And usually it's always over a miscommunication or a misunderstanding about something. Never has the sharing of someone else's information been for any good reason aside from miscommunication, not understanding, and being messy boots. And no one likes a messy boots. Those are friends you should drop like a bad habit. And when you see people who act like that, let them go. It is okay to preserve your sanity. It is okay to wish someone well and then also wish them straight to hell. You can make that separation within yourself. It's okay. Don't feel like you're a bad person, because a lot of times we feel guilty for turning our backs on people who may be hurting. E says, I hate messy boots. Me too, friend. Me too. The worst, E says. Yes, definitely. Woo. I wish I had time. I have some stories about some friends that weren't really friends. But it is always okay to separate yourselves from people like that. A lot of the times we will try and people please, and we will try to push this idea of we're just a better friend, we can help them. No, sometimes the answer is no. We can't always help them, you guys. And it's okay to make a separation between you and that toxic individual, because you don't need that. So, my friends, let's go ahead and jump into another question. And you heard that sound right there. It is time for our coveted lightning round. So, you guys, here are the rules of the lightning round. You have 30 minutes to ask me as many questions that I can answer with a yes, a no, or an undetermined. So, all of your yes, no questions. Is the sky blue? Is my dog going for a walk today? Ask everything on your mind in the chat. If you have something you want to kind of see going forward from here, or you want to ask about, or you're curious about, your burning questions, go ahead and ask them now, because the lightning round is about to start. So go ahead and drop those questions in the chat. Let's go, guys. Emma says, will I go to my son's wedding reception or reception? Yeah, next week. Yes, you will. Norma, is it over between me and D? No. Slatvana, is V in a relationship? Undetermined. There's more. Oh, gosh. Jean, will Virgo's divorce be over by June? No. Gemma, will Adam and I go to Brighton next year together? Yes. E, will I do good in Maryland? Yes. But there's more. But yes. Norma says, will this mess pass? Yes. Svetlana, will I have a relationship this summer? Yes. Jean, should I look for a different job? No, but more. He says, will I get the apartment? Yes. Let's see. Catherine, will my baby get out of his hyperness? This might be leaning a little bit more medical. Tina, will Frank S. ever introduce me to his kids? Yes. E, will I get the driving job? Undetermined. E. Gemma asks, should I go to my hotel room for a break before the reception? Yes. Catherine, will Rajesh get his divorce? Yes. He says, I know. Norma, or excuse me, Svetlana, excuse me, Norma. Should I leave the biker group? Undetermined, but Slavana, will I be in a relationship with someone else this summer? Yes. Gemma, will Adam and I move in together next year? Yes. More. God. Catherine, will my business get better? Yes. Jean, should I get an extra job? Yes. We got to talk about that, Jean. E, will I get married? Yeah. Svetlana, will I have a new job? Yes. E, should I stay with Aries? No. E, should I play the lotto? I mean, yeah, you can. That one got me messed up. Oh my God. Gemma, will Cyan and Kane's relationship get better? No. Tina, will Frank tell his family we are dating and not just friends? Ooh, girl, Tina, we got to talk about that one. However, your answer is a yes. Yes. Ooh, girl. Some of y'all, look, some of y'all keep throwing me these questions, and now we just got to talk about some of them. Y'all need to start throwing y'all questions in that chat right there so I can answer them. Or if you really want to know what's going on, go ahead and hit that donation button because y'all got me messed up. Some of those I really want to talk about, and I can't. Y'all wrong for that. Y'all wrong for that. He says some of y'all meow. Yes, you E. We gotta have a chit chat at some point because y'all had me in the first half. I'm not gonna lie. Oh my gosh. So thank you all for participating in the lightning round. You guys are awesome. That was so much fun. I love a good lightning round. And remember, throw those emojis in the chat. Keep it going because at the halfway point, go ahead and oh shoot. Ooh, at the halfway point, we're having the emoji contest and you get a general reading from me. So go ahead and throw those emojis in the chat. Jean says, thank you, love. You are so very welcome, Jean. So I want to see all those emojis. Go wing. And also tell me, everybody, for a quick little recap of the situation that we've been talking about today. We've been talking about friends, jealousy, envy, because love is not just romantic, it is also platonic. And so to get your thoughts a-going, get these carrots, this beta carotene for your spirit that I keep throwing at you guys. Tell me a little bit more. I want to know, how do you set boundaries in friendships? And I'm asking you all this one because how I set boundaries is, ooh, friend. My boundaries are concrete to a degree. But when I need to set a boundary with some toxic friendships, I cut them off like a bad habit. I just go clip and I'm done. That is very Sagittarius trait. May not be the healthiest of traits to do all the time, but it is very much a Sagittarius situation where I just will cut and run. But how do you all, tell me, how you all deal with boundaries? How do you set those boundaries in a friendship? Where do you draw your lines? I'm curious because I want to see where everyone's, it's like you figured out your friend is not so good for you. You figured all this out. So then what do you do? How do you move forward from that? Because again, me, I'm a cut and run. Once I get a whiff of something not so good, we're going to clip and leave. And I'm going to walk across the other side of the street and just book it. So I would love to know that from all of you, because learning and understanding how to set your boundaries is important, and realizing your boundaries do matter is extremely important. And so while I hope to see you all answer this question, let's go ahead and jump into another reading. Gemma says, it's my son Taylor's wedding next week. I'm mentally preparing myself for the church ceremony, but do you think I'll make the reception party after? Can I go straight there? Can I go straight there and have a rest in between? Now, Gemma, I think first and foremostly, there might be a little bit of overthinking going on in terms of this situation. I think first and foremostly, the ceremony is going to be fine. You're going to get there. You're going to do what you have to do. You're going to be a good mom and be happy in this occasion. I think you're going to do fine. You just got to remember to not let your anxiety eat you up in your head. Because remember, stay out of your head. It's dangerous in there. And it's dangerous in everyone's head. However, I do think that there's going to be a point in time where you can not maybe go back to the hotel, or maybe just, just walk to another side of the area where you may be, take a moment to woo-saw it out, like get your grounding back together, and then go to the reception. I think ultimately, Gemma, you might be overthinking the situation just a little bit, but ultimately it looks like you're going to do fine. It's going to be fine. I don't see any real negative discourse coming from this situation, as long as you don't allow your anxiety to start eating you up. Be very, very careful about that. So just if you need to, maybe not go all the way back to your hotel. Gemma says, good idea. Thank you. And yes, definitely. Just take a moment, go to somewhere where it's not super crowded, sit down, breathe, ground yourself, and then get back into it. The unfortunate part of anxiety is sometimes we gotta tough it out. We gotta put our dukes up and tough it out. And I think you'll be able to do that. You just gotta remember to pace yourself and just push forward. But I think ultimately, as long as you don't let your brain get over. All right, my friend Gemma, thank you so much for your beautiful question. It's okay. We all deal with a little bit of anxious moments from time to time, but we also have to remember that we cannot let anxiety rule our lives. We have to keep on pushing and keep on going, because there's people outside of us in our brains that's dangerous in there. Remember, that depend on us and rely on us. And we want to make the people we love happy sometimes. Sometimes it's okay to please the ones we love. And sometimes that means overcoming some hardships and really pushing through. And you all have the capability of being able to push through whatever difficulty you may be going through in the minute. Just remember that you got to just take your time, one step in front of the other, woo-saw it out, and just go in with a positive attitude. And all will eventually work itself out. You guys got this. So thank you so much for your beautiful questions, everybody. You all are doing amazing. And let's go ahead and jump into another question, and then we'll get back into some carrots. It's a good time. Tina says, hi, Bunny. I'd love to know if I'd ever get engaged to Frank S. Please and thank you. Well, you found the right nosy bystander, because I'm also curious. You found the right one today. So let's see. Will you get engaged to Frank? I feel this is going to be a bit of an uphill battle. So your answer is, in a way, yes, you will, but not in the time frame you want it to be, my friend. Not in the time frame. Frank is going through what feels like a lot of confusion and confliction in regards to how he wants to mend and mesh together certain aspects of his life, because it almost feels like there was a lot of hurt from his past that is keeping him from being or available emotionally to open up to such a huge degree, like introducing families and mending lives, blending lives. I feel like there's a fear here in the back of his head that is keeping him from wanting to do that. And it's not because he doesn't like you. It's not because he doesn't care about you. It's literally because he has been through the ringer at one point in time, and he is scared of getting his socks rocked one more good time. Understandable circumstances in that regard. However, this is not a situation where you are the problem or he's ashamed of you. This feels like an issue where he is coming to terms with where to move forward from here. So this is not a situation in which it's going to happen in the time frame you'd like it. This is something that's going to happen way down the road, but that's going to come with some good time of really getting comfortable with the situation between the two of you and feeling like he's ready to open that door. If I could give you some imagery, think of someone with an elephant on their back. This is a big elephant to carry. This is a big weight on them. And they somehow got to use their legs, them tiny stick legs us humans got, to walk through this itty bitty door with this elephant on their back. You can't fit through this. Yes, you cannot put so much on your back and expect your partner to walk through the door and be ready when you are. Tina says, yes, he was hurt very bad when we met, when we weren't looking but connected like we knew each other before. And that's where being patient with your person is definitely going to be what is the saving grace. It's not going to be in your time frame. And sometimes love does not work in the time frame we want it to. Sometimes it will bust down your door so quick. And then you got to just navigate it. Cassidy says, go bunny. Thank you, Cassidy. I love you so much. I miss you, Cassidy. I haven't talked to you in a minute. But Tina says, thank you so much, Bunny. You are so very welcome. But yes, our partnerships, our relationships, friendships, familials, when we're ready for things to happen, they're not always going to happen when we want them to. And we have to, as people, put our own selfish desires to the side. And Cassidy says, so true. Yes, we have to realize that those are selfish desires we have. I want you to move in the time frame that I'm ready for you to move in, because I know we're supposed to be together. Yeah, you two are supposed to be together, but allow them to be a person. Remember, I said this a few shows back. Your person was a person before you, and they were hurt before you. Allow them to metamorphosis into this new relationship. And sometimes for a lot of people, that takes time. Wounds from the past are nasty and they are deep. And sometimes you can't always expect your partner to push through them as fast as you would like them to. It's a little unfair to even do that, because if it was you in that situation, ooh, it would be a problem. That person would be trash galore if they were trying to push you through something you weren't ready to be pushed through. So just remember, always look at it from the other foot, because it's never as cut and dry as they don't want you. Sometimes they just are in a place where they have to heal their heart. Allow your partner to heal. So give it time. But I do hope you guys are getting some really good downloaded information from this, because it's something, this is a situation I've seen play out in front of me many, many times. And I wish I could tell people, just give them time. So thank you all so much for your beautiful questions. We are having such a good time today. And let's go ahead and jump into another question. Catherine, I'm got a thing with pronunciation, so I'm so sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, my friend. But Catherine with the beautiful pink jumper says, will Jason pass his driving test the second go round? I feel the answer is yes. I think he's going to pass his driving test. Now, there's something here with nerves. And now I feel it's something to do with, I see the wheel turning. So it might be parking. It might be some sort of turning. If you are living in an area that requires parallel parking, please go over parallel parking. Because look, even I mess up parallel parking. I can't parallel park for nothing. But there is a refresher about something that requires backing up, point turns, being able to back up, turn. So I see a lot of wheel turning back and forth. That is something you're going to want to really hone in on before his test. I do think he's going to pass. There needs to be some refresher courses and a little bit extra emphasis on this one particular thing, because that might be where he gets really anxious because it's so particular. Like I said, if it's like parallel parking, I understand, trust me. So I do hope that was able to help. That's very interesting. I do think that he's going to pass, but be sure to just refresh those courses in his head. That's definitely going to be super duper important moving forward. Trust me, I'm in the same position. So thank you so much, my friend, for your beautiful question. I hope I was able to help give you some clarity this evening. And let's go ahead and jump into another. And then we got some thoughts. Oh, emoji contest winner. And so Let's see who our winner is. It's Gemma. Gemma, congratulations on being our emoji contest winner. You rock. And everyone who put in their emotions, everyone who put in their emojis, you also rock too. Thank you all so much for participating. And Gemma, you get to have some hummingbirds from me. We've been keeping it very light the past few weeks with the hummingbirds, but don't worry. Once I remember where I put my shadow oracle deck, we're going to get into some other stuff, but I got to remember what my life looks like. So let's get into some cards for you. Let's see, Gemma. I feel. First and foremost, see your first card. It says, Lotus Jewel. Underneath your feather exterior lies a radiant diamond glimmering with truth, beauty, and wisdom. Gemma says, YouTube told me off for commenting too much. Don't let YouTube stop you from being great, Gemma. And that's exactly what you did. So you've got the Lotus Jewel, Gemma. I feel that unfortunately, because you do have a lot that goes on in your head, it just feels like tick, 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 tick all the time. You are moving at 600 miles per minute. I feel, unfortunately, sometimes those thoughts that bubble over, they will control you. And it's not like that you want it to. I think you're just used to it. It's almost like an expectation for these things to happen. But you're forgetting that past these little anxieties and these little over avalanching thoughts that you have, you are strong, you are confident, you are glamorous in your own right. It's sometimes you forget this. Sometimes you are so logged in to what is triggering you. Gemma says, I've been so overwhelmed with every little thing. You've fed into that because you haven't figured out the way to reground yourself and start decompartmentalizing your thoughts. There is a priority list that you've almost forgotten. And it's, again, this is a situation where you are beautiful, you are wise in your own way, you are radiant, you are smart, you are capable, but I feel like deep down you forgot. Gemma says menopause makes anxiety crazy. Now, I have not hit that segment of life, but I've heard some stories and I 100% can empathize and sympathize with that, because that is never a fun change, definitely, but you are still capable of that vibrancy that you feel that you once had. It just is going to come with a little bit of reclocking with how you think about it or think about what's happening around you. Not letting everything overwhelm you, not putting so much stock into A, B, X, Y, and Z, allowing things to push forward. And you know that saying, let it roll off your back like water. That's how you have to look at certain things that happen around you, because you're getting a lot of stress from situations that you cannot control. Things that haven't even happened yet, things that you can see happening, but you're only seeing like kind of like a specific part of it. Gemma says, I've definitely lost my confidence too. Yeah, we got to get that back, girl, because you got it. You still got it. It's not like you're old, decrepit, and you can't walk or something like that, and you're just like wasting away. Gemma, you are still able. You're still vibrant. You're still youthful in your own way. You have to reconfigure in your head who Gemma is. Gemma is more than what Gemma is allowing herself to be. Gemma is more than the anxiety and the lost confidence. Gemma was a baddie. And you got to reconfigure and refine where that was for you and where it is still. Start by taking some of these things out of your head, because you overanalyze things you cannot control. And then you start looking down on yourself when you can no longer control it. Allow yourself to breathe, my friend. And remember, a little bit of decompartmentalization. Take one thing at a time. One thing is the most important first. You can't tackle everything at once. No one can do that. So give yourself a little bit of grace. And remember, you was a baddie too. And you still a baddie. You just got to get back into the baddie mindset. Gemma says, yes, I've been thinking all about this. I need to start being creative again too. Definitely. Girl, go to the park and draw you something. Draw you some flowers. Go paint something. Ooh, those diamond paintings that you click the diamonds into that look so fun that I want to do? Do one of those. Those are fun. Give yourself time to be happy and find new ways to find peace. So my friend Gemma, thank you so much for participating in the emoji contest. I am so grateful to all of you who participated. You guys are awesome. And thank you so much for your beautiful questions and rocking it out with me with this contest, you guys. I love you guys so much. So let's go ahead and jump into Gemma says, thank you so much. You are so very welcome, Gemma. I like how my brain is slowly rebooting, but let's jump into another question. Audrey asks, hey, will things ever get better for my friend Marcy? She's such a sweet person in life. And life always knocks her down. I'm so worried for her. Oh my goodness, Audrey, you are a sweetie to ask for your friend that way. But I do feel like she does go through a lot of trials and tribulations. However, it always will get better. There just needs to be a reconfiguration. That is the word of the day, reconfiguration. Now, I feel like for your friend, it's not necessarily a situation of life just keeps knocking her down. This feels like a culmination of situations that are so outside of her that she just somehow ends up getting involved in. It's like if one person is going through a problem, she'll try and help or something like that, and then ends up getting involved deeper than she wants to. I feel like this is going to be a lot of her needing to set boundaries. This is going to be a lot of her needing to remember that she is important as well. Things can get better. But again, there just needs to be this realigning of who is more important in the situation and when to create a boundary and walk back from things. I feel she gets too invested, too involved. The emotions just get very cemented and stuck like this onto a situation. And she's not able always to pull herself out of it because now she feels like she has to just see it through and push through. And unfortunately, it ends up not working in her favor. So while, yes, things are going to get better for her, she has to learn where her boundaries lie and how to move away from certain things that she just can't have a lot of control over. Remember, it is super important, everybody, to realize when you are a part of something and say a situation happens to you and you don't have a lot of control on the determination of the situation, how things are going to go from here. You are just involved because you know when to back away. So say someone tells you something about something. You don't have to get involved. You don't have to lend a helping hand. You can say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I hope things get better for you, and then walk away a little bit from it. Allow yourself to draw a boundary with how much you want to get involved with the scenarios surrounding other people. Just because you were told does not mean that you have to get involved. You are not the world's savior. You cannot save everyone who is not ready to be saved. Save yourself first. Although in certain situations do help those around you, but just know when to use that discernment to push away from a situation that could put you in a situation that you don't want to be in. And then you start feeling guilty, and then it gets complicated, and then it gets exhausting. So just be very careful about that. It's good to want to help people, but also take a step back sometimes. It's really important to do that. So let's go ahead, you guys, and jump into another question. Catherine says, or Catherine, I'm going to get y'all names right, I promise. Catherine said, I would like to know how Rajesh feels about me and is he willing to take our relationship to the next level? That is a very good question, Kathleen. So I do feel in terms of Rajesh, there is a good portion of him that does really like what you two are building. And I do see where he wants to like introduce you to parents if he hasn't already done that. He wants to take things to the next level. So there is this very, very cognitive push to see where things can go. I do feel that he might be working just a little bit slower than what you would like. However, it is definitely there. And I also feel Rajesh may not be someone who shows his emotions fully on the exterior. So you might sometimes get confused about what it is, about what he's thinking and what he's feeling in that moment. Don't let that push you too far away. I think the feelings that are coming through are very apparent here. He does really like you. He does want this to move forward. He is very happy in this relationship. I think It's just allowing him to express in the way he desires, but there is a push forward into something deeper here. It's just going to take a little bit more time in allowing him to show it in his own way. He seems like a person whose love language is action rather than words. So for you, it feels like words of affirmation is what that's called. You seem to like words of affirmation, and he seems to be about action. And that might be sometimes where you two cross wires a little bit, but I definitely see that there is a very concentrated effort into pushing the relationship forward. So I hope that I was able to help you, my friend. And thank you so much for your beautiful question. You guys, I love that we're really having some deep conversations about love and pushing forward through love and what love looks like, platonic and otherwise, self-love too. Now let's go ahead, you guys, and take our final question for the night. You guys are so awesome, and it's Norma with the cute little puppy. I love the little puppy profile picture. I don't know if that's your dog. He may be your dog, but it's just a cute little baby. Norma asks, am I doing the right thing by stepping back on this relationship? Although I love him so much, he thinks I'm pressuring him. I know he has a lot going on, but being accused of something that wasn't going on hurts so damn much. Oh, my friend Norma, I can totally understand. I'd like to keep that question up for a little bit longer. Maybe. So let's go ahead and see. I feel in this regard, you are doing the right thing. Now, this is a situation in which he may have felt pressured in situations or relationships previously. And because there is this pressure, everything that feels a little bit more intense ends up becoming a red flag. This, unfortunately, is going to make him want to avoid a lot of what the relationship is and could be. Now, I do see the attempt to keep moving things forward, but I understand where you'd want to step back. I don't think this is something that you're going to be able to fix within him, and this is something that he is going to have to solve on his own. And I do feel as well there is some communication about what exactly made you hurt that needs to happen. I do feel like, though, you stepping back from this relationship will give you the tools and ability to be able to do that. It's just going to take some time for things to kind of round themselves out. He's not thinking in his more rational sense about what it is he's looking at. He sees it in one way, and it's because, like I said, he's been hurt before in this type of way. He's been made to feel uncomfortable in this certain type of way. And so anything that reminds him just a little bit of what that felt like before, he's going to automatically pay. All right, my friend, unfortunately, we are out of time, but you all, thank you so much for all of your beautiful questions. And thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I will be back here Wednesday at 6 p.m. for another episode of What's Love Got to Do with It. And now I get to, for real, say the party really don't stop once I get off, because at 10 p.m. you can catch Energy, the Metaphysical Crone, and her show right here on My Psychic Connection. So make sure you all come back at 10 o'clock to catch Energy, and she's amazing. And then tomorrow, Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Cassidy, the card slinger, sling them cards and give you guys a real good reading too. So thank you all so much for joining me this evening. It has been a pleasure. Please drink water and take lots of good care of yourselves this weekend, and I will see you guys next Wednesday at 6. Bye-bye.